Hey, welcome back. So we're getting ready to start the Allied command, and a question did come up on whether or not I was supposed to do a roadblock check here, and it's really funny because this was covered up by this token, so it looked like this, and I didn't even see that there was a hold value underneath here, and then I was initially thinking, yeah, we're supposed to do a roadblock check. But then I went back and rewatched the video and had to relook at the rule. And the battle was originally a situation where this guy was here and that guy was there, I believe. So with that situation in mind, and we did that on purpose because we wanted to flank this guy. Okay, so this guy went in, when this tank moved to here, the Allied unit was still here. So there was no roadblock check there being next to this because roadblocks don't appear if there's a unit next to them. Well, then this moved to here and then we moved to there. And so there's no roadblocks on any of that. Okay, but one of the things that I took away from it, that discussion, is even though we did the right thing, I'm annoyed by these markers being so big. They are very handy to remind me where a bridge is. And it is nice to know who controls what, but it's a problem. And so heavy lifting by myself, another special nod to him. He put cubes down, which I thought was a cool idea, but I really don't have, I have a million games with cubes, but I don't want to go steal cubes from a game and then later forget where I put them if I ever try to play that game. So what I did was I came up with a different system. So I'm going to do this, where I have these little clear markers. So this would indicate that it's an Allied bridge, and you could see through it. That's what I like about it. But since we took it over, I have a choice. I can choose between a green, meaning, like let's do like a stoplight, kind of colors. But there was another color in here that I thought was more thematic. I don't know why I think it's more thematic, but it just seems that way. And that's a blue one. So we could do a blue one to show that Germans have control of it. But I do confess it's harder to read through them. So maybe we'll do, well, greens know better. So what do you like more, the blue or the green? I think the greens are easier for me to find out of this because I have a whole bunch of colors. So we'll do green. Green means that it's ally, or it's us. Yellow means it's them. And so then I can just leave that green there, and maybe I'll mix it. If I have a blue, that could also mean German. And then for these blown up bridges, I actually have a red one that we can do to show that the bridge is blown up, which I think is a cool idea as well. And so that's something I can do to maybe make this a little easier for us. But the one thing with these is it doesn't show, directionality, but I guess that's not the end of the world. So we can do something like that, and that shows that there's 3 bridges there. And get another one for here. And I know I got these on this side of the river and this one's on that side of the river. I get all that. I guess I just want to put it somewhere where it's empty because it's easier to see. That's why I moved this one to the other side. So yeah, I have a bunch of these and we can put them to use. They're not too hard to pull out. And I won't make you sit here and watch me do this all day, but we'll at least get these broken bridges in, and then we can call it. Oh, that's a purple one. Okay, So now it's their turn. Let's go ahead and do their turn. I know there's other bridges out there, and we'll worry about them and use this system as we go. And this one here, you can see, is the only green one because we took that bridge. So that's a pretty cool. I like it. I like it because you can see through them. All right, back to this. Yes, we're drawing a card for them. Oh, and the first card is no command. So they're going to do an engineer command. That means I'm pretty sure they're placing a roadblock somewhere. So let's go look up the command again and see what they're going to do. So first thing they want to do is replace a roadblock with a unit, but there are no roadblocks in play. So then they're going to put a roadblock out there. It has to be 3 or more within 2 hexes of a supplied German unit in communication of both. Okay, so has to be unoccupied and not adjacent to an allied unit, but it can be next to a German unit. Okay, so we determined that with these two guys here, that communication is going to cross this bridge. We busted through. So we have communication out into here, and we can do loop-de-loops, etc. So we can hit any of these places behind the scenes. So we can go here to this 3 and put a roadblock. That is a possibility, but if it's tied, it's the westernmost and then the northernmost. So we have to look at other possibilities, but this one is in the cards. This one is not, because it's more than 2 from a German. This one is not, because it's next to an allied unit. Remember, it has to be 3 or more, and I think it's going to be this one again, because we talked about this before. This actually happened the last game we played, and for the same reasons, it's going to be there. I think maybe the last game we put one here, but we're on that spot. So this one would be the winter chicken dinner. It's actually going to help protect that too, which is no small thing. This is the westernmost 3 that satisfies the criteria. Okay, this 3 also satisfies the criteria. Nope, it's next to an allied unit. So actually, this is the only 3 that satisfies that criteria. Well, I mean, there's other 3s down here, but this is the northernmost one. So that's where it's going to go, and that is their entire turn. So now, just a reminder, this roadblock doesn't do anything to us, but if we were to move next to it, we have to stop. That's the first thing. And then if we ever activated while we're next to it, then we do a check to see if one of these reserve units gets popped in. I think it's a die roll. So anyways, it's back to us. Okay, so we have 5 command points, and I did save a bridge engineer to repair a bridge. And I think that's what I want to do right away. So let's do that. We're going to repair a bridge. Now, we can't get excited about it like we did last time, because remember, I repaired the bridge and then thought I could move an infinite number of units over it. That was not the case, but I'm going to go ahead and grab a green, and we're going to repair this bridge. And so that bridge is now open. Starting on December 17th, we can pour across it like ants on a picnic basket. Okay, so what do we want to do? We can now move. That's the key thing. We can now move, and I've already spent 2 command points out of the 5. So looking at our cards, you can see that there's this middle one here with the yellow has a 3 command on it. If I played that right now, our impulse would end. But if I play one of the other ones, I can actually do 2 more actions, this impulse. So I'm thinking of playing one of the other ones, and then I'll play the 3 next. Okay? Now, with that said, who activated last turn? These guys activated and blue activated. Okay? So I can't activate purple or blue. So this one is not possible if I want to activate the core. I could try to you know, deploy reserves or activate any one other unit. I think that would be a waste of a turn. So then we have the age-old dilemma of what do we do down here versus up there. You've got these guys here that we can try to do something with, and then we have these guys here we can try to do something with, and I have cards for both of them. I would only be able to do one of them at a time, of course, and then I can also activate these orange guys here, but remember I've said that these orange guys are difficult to do with both of these guys. But if I had an ability to call them to join the battle, this guy alone could take this on with them. Somebody wrote me on Board Game Geek, and they sent me a really nice mail. I really appreciate it. I don't remember the name, and I apologize if that person's watching. But I wanted to say, first of all, thank you. And then secondly, he was giving me some advice. And one of the things that he mentioned was that having green units fight alongside elite units is a bad move. And I agree. And I'm mentioning that because when you pull these combat chits, sometimes it'll ask you, is it elite or is it green? And then one side will have a P, meaning that that's the side that's going to take priority. And the side that always takes priority is the green units. So then, as an attacker, you end up taking hits, is what I'm trying to get at. Whereas if you had elite units, you flip it to the other side, and then you're doing damage. So those green units can backfire on you, especially if you have elites with it, because they'll cancel out the elite. When you draw those particular chits I'm talking about, it cancels out the elite bonus. So that's the scenario I have here. I have elite units next to a green unit trying to attack another green unit. So that's one of the bad things. His other advice was quit giving up on the south like I do. Although he did agree that there's not much you can do in the beginning. Okay, so here's where my mind has always been. I have always been convinced that, you know, because these guys can move across the river here and here, and then I have basically 3 of them attacking one unit here. It's not a flank because this is a town. I'm saying that for my own benefit, not necessarily yours. But having 3 units against 1, you would think would be a piece of cake. I'm telling you, this unit has, the last playthrough, never lost a single step. And he was just damaging the crap out of us. So I just could not get past this guy. And I've been wanting to like get this guy there. But it requires some finagling. Like I would have to move this one to here, and then I can move this one to there. And actually I can't. I have to move this one to here first, and then to there. Which I could do. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna play this card. Let's try it. Why not? Where are they? We're gonna do this core right here. So that's these guys. So I want to make sure I can do the moves. So this one's a 3 movement. It costs 1 to go into woods for an infantry. And then it costs 1 to go into a broken. So he'll just go here. Now the reason he's going here is because I want to free up these 2 guys to move away. And he's going to exert zone of control so this little tank can't get trigger happy and try to cross the river. Now this one, he can move down the road this way. That'll cost him 2 points. 1 for the road and 1 because he was in a zone of control. He's allowed to do that. But that's the problem. He can't cross the river then. He has to use all of his movement points to go across the river. That's the issue. But I can at least get him in position so he can do it next time. I'm not real thrilled with that. Let me look at my cards. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then if I move this guy across the river, I'm only attacking with a 4 versus 3. I mean, this is not a good attack. I'm going to take my card back. They're just not ready to do anything. There's nothing there. If I was able to get this guy across the river, then we would have been cooking with Pam. But right now, we're going to stick with margarine. So then the next option I have are these guys. So let's say I activated these guys. This one cannot join the battle. He is stuck in his zone of control. He cannot go into someone else's zone of control, either that way or that way. This one is across the river, so all these attack strengths are cut in half. He, of course, can move forward and try to do something. But the other thing is I can't go across the river to here to at least get a bonus because these guys are, they're stuck. Now I can move across the river this way, but that means I'm going to spend another whole turn coming down. So once again, it's just not a good move right now. So I'm going to leave them be. The orange ones would be awesome if I can get a combat reinforcement or an assault coordination. And these orange guys up here, what is that? The 66th. You know, this guy could obviously move up and join a battle, one of the others. And if I can get this one to help or something, that would make a world of difference, but I don't have that situation. So I think I'm left with my final choice, which is I'm going to activate the yellow SS Panzer Corps. They are our badasses, so let's just do what they were designed to do. Okay, so a mistake I made last time, that I'm going to repeat again because I don't want you guys to make it. This guy has 3 pips, and we need to be mindful of that. So he can't do a stack of 3 tanks. And then what's funny is somebody mentioned the 150th here, and I guess historically, and thank you for that, because I don't know much about this battle other than just high-level stuff. This is actually a Sherman tank picture, because these were German units trying to pretend to be American units. So I guess according to him, it didn't really do much. But they were actually trying to do it, and that's what this 150th Division is right here, with looks like a German tank. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so what are we going to do? That is the big question. We obviously have a big battle here, and we want to do something about this battle. That battle is important. But now that we got movement points, we can definitely try to punch some other areas in the mouth. So, what areas would that be? With this being woods, that costs 3 movement for me to leave this road to go to that road. So that's a big deal. Well, for sure we got this going on, right? So that's not a question. And we have some infantry here. We have a lightweight tank here. We got our little special 150th here. The 150th for sure can just join in like here, right? He's got enough movement points to do that. The Piper can come down and join this guy because those two together can make magic. So that's 5 pips. What I want to do is put him with the 150th. So do I have enough movement? This guy's only got 4 movement points. It would cost him a mountain of movement points to move out and move back in. So nope, we're just going to put Piper with this guy, like so. Okay, so then that's going to be a mega attack against this, and it's a must-do. We need to knock him back. And in doing so, we can advance afterwards and position ourselves to help Orange take this out, right? The impulse is going to end, by the way. I was trying to play like another command before we did the yellow core, but I just didn't like any of the options. Okay, so now the next question becomes, what about this guy and what about this guy? All right, so I need to look at this closer. We're not going to get the help of this guy because I don't have the ability to pull him in. If I move these guys forward, there's 2 units here. These guys are going to be, excuse me, they're really tough to take out. They have a lot of strength, and they're in a town. But they have 5 movement points, all 3 of them. And to go into broken terrain, it costs 2 movement. So I can move all 3 of them to here for 2, but then to go here, that's 5, or 3 more for 5, because that's considered woods. So I can do that and then position them to try to help take on this up here. I don't know if that's super valuable, but I think that's where I need to consider it. So I'm rethinking this. I think this unit was on 902, and this unit was here. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to just come across like this, and this is 1, 2, and then 4 more is 6. So just enough movement points to get to here. And then these guys, as you can see, I have 3 of them. 1 will go here, and the other 2 will go, this is 2 points, and then this is 3 more for 5. So that's going to be our attack. So this particular unit could have stepped forward and tried to battle these, but it would have been a tough battle. I'm not sure it would have been a good battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them up, and then maybe we can get some coordination with these red units up here and punch a hole through that way. And then these 3 will coordinate here, and then I'm going to use these 2 to attack this one by itself. This is a risky one, but I'm going to do it. So then the next question is am I going to use any... I will do... I'm going to do 2 of them. So we're going to do infantry infiltration and fixed artillery. And both of these are going to be for the Piper division, this battle that's here at the bottom, that all by itself. So the infantry infiltration will give us flanking, and then the fixed artillery will just give us a bonus if we draw any artillery cards. So that's what we're going to do. Let's do the Piper one first. Okay, so the minimum chits are 2. And then the Piper division, there's 2 chits, the Piper unit itself and then the other unit. Then we get 1 because Piper's elite, and then we get 1 because Piper has 3 pips. All right, and then we're going to get 2 more. There's 4 of them here. So I'm going to put a 5 in and take 2 change. We're going to get 2 more because we played 2 combat tactics. We played the fixed artillery and the infantry infiltration. So that's our situation. We're able to get 7 combat chits, even though we only have 2 units attacking. That's a good deal. So let's do, we got to draw their card, the Allies. Oh boy, it looks like I didn't even shuffle, but I swear to you I did. Okay, so they're going to get combat engineers, or engineers, I mean. And the good news for us is it does nothing for them. They already have an improved position marker. So that's a wonderful one for us. Okay, so we're drawing a 2 minimum. Here we go. He's not in a city. Is he in a town, woods, or forest? He is in the woods. He is. So he's going to reduce a hit. Are we greater than 3-to-1 odds? Well, let's look. Oh, I looked at the wrong one. This one's in the woods. This guy is broken, so we'll fix that. He's a 3, and we're at 9, so we're 3-to-1 odds. So we do hit him, and this one just goes away. All right, so we got 1 hit on him, and we can draw up to 7. I'm going to go all the way to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these all go in. And 7. Okay, so what are these? There's no German air power or allied. Is there a defender adjacent? No, there's not. Is he dispersed or unsupplied? No, he's not. is the attacker elite. Oh, heck yeah, we are. Oh, but this isn't the priority one. Is the attacker green? No, we're not. See, this is that exact sample I was telling you about. So thank you to whoever wrote me on Board Game Geek. That's the priority. So if I would have had green units mixed in with my elites, they would have hurt me. So anyways, we do another damage with that. Are we greater than 4 to 1? No, we decided we were 3 to 1. So that one's out. 8 to 1, less than 3 to 1. That one's out. Is the defender recon? Nope. Is there a combat engineer? No. This is for us, not for them. So that one's out. And then are we greater than 3 to 1? Yes, we are. Greater than or equal to. So we did 3 hits, which it's not bad. We're going to at least push them back. And the first hit is going to take away his improved position. And so that's out. So then we have 2 hits left. And I know I've been doing this without showing you, but I want to make sure if people are learning, it's this player aid here, and we're always in this section right here, assigning hits. We go through A, B, C, and D. A always only happens if somebody retreated twice. B is a check that if the hits are greater than or equal to the steps, it's always going to retreat. So that's why you see me just doing that without even showing you how it looks. So, we have 2 hits and there's 2 pips. So he's going to retreat, and he wants to retreat along this blue arrow. Unfortunately, that's going to go next to our zone of control. So his only option is to either go here or there. Okay, so he has a choice. The answer is always westernmost. That is closest to the blue arrow. So he's going to go here across the river. That is his first choice for retreating. And retreating into a forest like that, they don't do it unless it's absolutely necessary. Okay, so now we have 1 hit to apply, and this is the situation that is more complicated, because the 1 hit that we have left to apply, as you can see, he has 2 steps, so we are finally at less number of hits than his total steps. So we have an AI we have to go through to decide, is he going to retreat again or is he going to take a hit? Well, letter C says that if he took a hit, so you always have to look at the other side, would he lose zone of control? And the answer is yes, because a bracketed unit loses zone of control unless they're in a town. I'm saying that for my benefit. So he would lose zone of control because he would flip over to a 1. So instead of rolling a die or seeing if he'll hold because it's a check to see if he'll hold this position, what he's going to do is going to retreat again. And he actually retreats along the blue line, and so he's going to go there, but he finishes his turn disrupted. So all we did was got him to retreat twice. But the good news is we kicked him out of our backyard. So these units get a right to move into his hex, and then they get a right to advance again. Unfortunately, they can't go across. They can't advance again if it's across a. Well, let me make sure. Okay, so we can always advance 2 hexes. The first must be the vacated hex, which we just did. The unit must stop if it crossed an unbridged river, which it hasn't done yet. The second may be any hex, but when deviating from the path of retreat, you can't go from one enemy-controlled hex to another or cross an unabridged river. And you may not enter a forest hex unless it's going along the road. But those rules are only for if you deviate from the retreat path. The retreat path went straight across the river there. So we can just blast right across the river, and that's actually quite awesome, because now we're over here harassing this guy from the rear. I'll take that. That's actually a real good move. Considering the fact that we only attacked with 2 units, that's pretty good. Okay, so next is the mega battle. This is the Battle Royale, the cage match. All right, so this guy has an improved position. Now that playthrough I played where I screwed up the rules and crossed the bridge when I shouldn't was actually going very well. We had combat engineer cards, and we were able to remove this improved position before the battle started. And I think you're seeing how that one extra hit is costing us a bit. Okay, so he's got 2 minimum, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to be able to draw 9 chits. And then we're actually going to be able to draw 10 because we have an elite unit. And we have no 3-pip units, so nothing's going to happen there. Let's draw his card, see what he gets. His card is a 5th core. He's not 5th core, so he gets screen. So what screen means is we take 2 off of our maximum chit draw, which in this case is fortunate for us because 9 was an extremely high number. So dropping down to, 10, and we drop down to 8, I mean, we're still doing great. All right, so let's draw 2. I had one stuck to my finger. Okay, here's the 2. Is there artillery? No. Remember, the artillery was on the last battle. Is it a flank attack? Yes. So we just did 1 hit. That hit would destroy his improved marker. I'm going all the way up to 8. So let's get her done. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so these are going to come back in. All right, is it the 5th Panzer Army that's attacking? It is not. It is the 6th Panzer. Allied air power, nope, it's gonna go away. Is he in towns, woods, or forests? No, he's in, let me check, he's in Broken. So that's out. That one's out. This one's out. Only the attacker has armor. That is not true. That one's out. Artillery is out. Oh my gosh. We did 1 hit. Okay, so nothing happens. Other than he just loses his improvement marker. He doesn't even retreat. Oh my gosh. That was an awful battle. All right, well, that's our turn. So now it's the Allies' turn. Okay, so the 8th Corps. This one actually might trigger the December 16th rule. So let me check that. Of course it is. Okay, so they're going to deploy the 101st Airborne and 9 Armor Division Reserves. Okay. Now, you might be thinking, well, there are no 101st Airborne or 9th Armor Division Reserves. However, the December 16th rule says that these guys count. So this one's number 1, so he'll go first. And the key thing here is he has to deploy as if he's part of this corps and within the core region, which is fine. Their core region goes all the way up to this squiggly way up here. We have to do deployment method A, which is, I think, going to be the harder one. It has to be an empty position that a German unit is proximate to, which means that they have to be able to move there. And it's none of these. Just let's rule all these out right away. This unit could move here. So that's a possibility, right? So here's possibility 1. We'll put that there. This is a possibility, but it can't be next to another unit. So this one's ruled out. This one is a possibility. Let me check. Okay, it has to be empty. It has to be in the core area. It has to be able to trace supply. It can. Has to be proximate to a German. It is. Not in danger of surround. That one is in danger of surround. Because all we had to do is move here and he'd be surrounded. So no luck there. He can't be adjacent to an allied unit that has zone of control. Unless it's a 5 or 6. The hold value. Oh, sorry, I was yawning. Okay, so let's keep looking. He can go all the way up to this squiggly line. So these 2 units are eligible as well. Okay. This one is not eligible because this bridge and then the zone of control, there's nobody who can move there. This guy can move 5 spaces. He can go 1, 2, 3. Actually, he could get there, but this roadblock would stop him. So he wouldn't get there because the roadblock would stop him. So could I go here? 2 points. Here for 2 more, for 4. Yep, I don't have enough movement to get there avoiding the roadblock. So that roadblock actually prevented them from reinforcing the victory point town, which I find interesting. Okay, so there's 3 choices that I identified that we have proximate range to. The first tiebreaker is it has to be within 3 hexes of a unit in the same division. Well, this guy's in the 9th Armored Division, and the only one that's 9th Armor is this guy. And there's nothing within 3 hexes of here. So it's not possible. So now it has to be within 3 hexes of a unit in the same core. Well, that means this is core, and this is also core. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So this one's out. That one's ruled out. So now we got 2 winter chicken dinners left. So the next one is westernmost hex. So this one edges it out by just a few. So that's where he goes. And then this one's out. And, well, actually, it was the hex with the highest hold value, and then westernmost. So, but these 2 both had the same hold value. So that's where he goes. And that's their turn. Now, should I have deployed the other one? Normally, yes, I would have deployed the other tank as well, except, remember, this is December 16th. They only deploy 1 at a time. Okay, so that does put a little bit of a monkey wrench in. It's back to us. We only have 2 cards in our hand, so I need to draw 3 more. And let's see what we get. We got 2 divisional cards, which we usually use for attacky attacks. And so now we got 3 of these. And let's figure out which ones we want to do. The one in the middle is the orange guys, which I think I'm going to do them. And then these blue ones are available to activate as well. I'm actually quite excited to activate them as well. So let's see what we can do. How can we wreck them up? I think we're pushing the middle right now. We're going to create the bulge, I guess. So we're going to do LXVI, which is, I always have to sit and think about it. That's the 66th. So we're going to activate the core. We're going to just activate them as a unit. There's only 3 units to activate, but we, because of this attack, did well. And remember, the yellow core can't go below this squiggly, so we have to be really careful. We can't come down and help attack down here. So these guys have to do it themselves, but we're going to do it. He's going to move in like so. This one's going to move in like so. And then we got ourselves a nice little 1, 2, 3 situation here. And let's get an attack in. Now, I'm looking at my cards here. I got a reinforced battle and an assault coordination, both of which are quite awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is this unit is going to attack the disrupted unit, and then I'm going to do an assault coordination and have this unit join the battle. Okay, and then for here, we're going to do a reinforced battle, and I'm going to get this unit to just join this one. He doesn't have to move, he's already there, but a reinforced battle will give him the ability to join into that attack. I would love to move him somehow, but I can't. There's nowhere for him to go. So I'm going to play both of these for the 2 different attacks, 1 for each attack. And that does put me to 4 command points, which is 1 shy of an impulse. So I will be able to activate 1 other unit before all this goes down. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I missing a card? We just played 3 cards. I have 2 in my hand. That's 5. I should have had 6. Oh, I ended up drawing this one too. So this might be the one we play next. We'll see. I got to think about that. Okay. So let's do the Piper one first. This is a disrupted unit, so he doesn't get to draw a card. And we're going to attack from all 3. He has full strength still. He's 2 strength. And then we're going to be able to draw 1, 2, 3 chits. And then this one has more than 3, so it's 4. This one has more than 3, that's 5. If you have more than 3 pips, you get to add 1 chit for each unit that's more than 3. Now, if you have more than 1 elite, you only get to add 1 chit total. It doesn't matter how many elites are in there. So it's a little confusing. And in fact, I confess I've been getting confused as well. But it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 for extra pips, 5 for extra pips, and then 6 because he's elite. So 6 chits is not bad for 2 units. That Piper unit is pretty awesome. Okay, so we're going to attack, but it's over water. He has 3 strength. This is 5, and then this is going to be cut in half. 9 divided by 2 is 4. So we're at 9 to 3. We're 3 to 1. 2 minimum, 6 maximum. And we played, it doesn't matter. We get 1 more because we played a combat tactic. So here's 2. Artillery, nothing happens. We're greater than 2 to 1. So we just did 1 hit on him. And he's disrupted. Now, disrupted units are only going to be able to retreat 1 space. That's the maximum retreats they can do. And then after that, they're going to take a beating. So this is probably going to make him retreat, but it won't kill him. So we can draw up to 7. We drew 2. I'm going to draw 5 more. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so Allied air power. German air power, nothing. Defender's elite. No, he's actually green. And so that's going to get us a 2nd hit on him. We really only need 1 more. Okay, this time he is in the woods. City, forest, broken, clear. There is no woods on that one. There's no artillery. Defender elite. Defender green. Wow, the fact that he was green really hurt him. That's 3 hits. I can tell you he's going to be destroyed. The first hit causes him to retreat, and he would retreat over this bridge, and then his next 2 hits cause him to take 2 damage, and he's destroyed. And we just destroyed 2 units, so I'm going to put them in this little cup over here. Because every 2 units we score a victory point. So we just scored our first point of the game. Now, we get to do a really cool thing. We get to advance after combat. This unit will advance like so, which now has effectively surrounded this guy, which is super cool. And then this unit is going to advance, well, this is the thing. It's December 16th, so we can't advance over the bridge with more than 1 unit. We can only do it with 1. So I could advance like this, and then advance again like that. Now, in doing so, I have to draw a roadblock here. So, or roll a die for a roadblock. So let's do it. I rolled a 5. I think if it's equal, the roadblock does happen. it does. So a roadblock is appearing in both places. Okay, so the only thing that I'm not happy about is that I did divide my units, but I sort of got aggressive here because this is a 2 victory point spot, and I would really like to take it. Also, by taking both of these, I now have the bridges. This bridge is still theirs, but I just took 2 bridges to make them German. In fact, we got to do that right now. So we're going to make these German. Okay. Somebody mentioned, and I may have brought this up already before. Hello, Jason. Somebody mentioned that if the unit is eliminated like this, you don't get to do the 2 hex advance. I need to find that in Board Game Geek, or whatever the FAQ is, because I don't understand it. It says in the rules flat out that this is how it's supposed to work. So I do confess that I'm confused on that. And so when you're playing your game, you may want to get some clarification there. And if I can remember, I will try to do the same. But I keep forgetting. So I apologize for that. It makes sense to me that you get to advance even if they're destroyed. But that doesn't mean that it's in the game. Okay, so that attack was a success. Now we're going to go ahead and do this one. And it's a 2-chit minimum, and we do have our problem of elites mixed in with non-elites, but that's fine. So 2 minimum, 1, 2, an extra 1 for pips for 3, 4, 5, 6, and an extra 1 for elites, 7. So that's 7 again to 2. He has an improved position marker, which helps, and he's also going to get to draw a card. So he drew the 8th Corps, which good news for us, but he drew Tank Battalion. And Tank Battalion is, it means he gets 1 to his strength, and he is considered to have armor. I think somebody made a comment that in the last playthrough I forgot to count him as armor. So let's not forget that. Okay, so strength-wise, he only has 2 strength. But now it's 3. So we have 5, 7, 10, 13, 17. So if it was 2 strength, we would have had 8 to 1 odds. But because of that Tank Battalion, he's now 3 times. He's now 5 to 1 odds, which that actually helps him a lot because 8 to 1 can really devastate him when you can get up that high. All right, here's the 2 minimum. And sure enough, right there's a 6 to 1 that would have done 2 hits to him. So I'm going to check one last time. 2, 7, 10, 13, 17. 17 to 3 is, yeah, we needed 18 points. We were 1 point short. Combat Engineer, nothing happens. Artillery, nothing happens. So we're going to draw up to our 7, so it's 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, Allied Air Power, nope. December 16th, yes, 1 hit. Greater than 4 to 1, yep. 1 hit. Greater than or equal to 5 to 1. We are at 5 to 1, so we take a hit and they take 2. Attacker has combined arms. This would have been yes, but he has the Tank Battalion, so we have to throw it out. Are we greater than 5 to 1? Yes, we are. So we are going to destroy him. He did 2, 3, 4. We did 5 hits to him, 1 hit to us. So if we come over here and look at our situation, we can do 1 hit to this infantry unit, which makes them no longer green. So we can do that. But he's going to get 5 hits, and he's completely surrounded. This is the first hit, right? It removes this. Okay, then the second hit is going to make him retreat. He has nowhere to go. So he's going to go west. But because he's retreating inside of zone of control, he has to take a hit. Okay, and then he's going to retreat again the next time and go over the bridge, which does not take a hit. Okay, actually, it does take a hit because we have him surrounded again because of the Piper unit being here. So he's completely destroyed. All right, so that was very well done. And so now we get to move. So for example, this one's going to advance into his empty spot, and then this tank will advance and then follow. And these guys, I think they do get to advance if I wanted them to. The interesting question is would I want them to? I'm going to say no. I'm fine with leaving them the way they are. We'll just leave the orange ones there. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, so I would say that was a good turn. And that was 4 of our points. So now we got 1 more action to do. And I was tempted to do these guys down here, but I'm going to do blue. Or should I? Yeah, because the purple guys still have the bridge rule that's affecting them. Well, so does blue, for that matter. Yeah, and actually, so if I'm going to do blue, I would rather do it this way. This guy's going to advance and then go to there and join his other unit. And then these guys would advance and then go to there. That's how this would play out. Okay, so now I'm going to activate blue. So it's this card. This puts us at the end of our impulse to do that. Now, I'm not going to play, I'm probably not going to play any combat tactics. But the key thing that's happening here is I'm activating this set of units. So I'm obviously going to get to move across the bridge because it's just 1 unit moving across the bridge. So we're going to do that. This unit has a choice. I'm going to think about that one. But what's happening here with these guys is they're activating next to a roadblock. So we got to resolve that. And so this might be something new we've not done before. Roadblock removal. If an allied unit enters its hex, allied, not us. If an active journey unit starts adjacent to a roadblock, that's our situation. We remove the roadblock, and if it was in allied supply or a VP hex, we do a roadblock check below. He's definitely in supply. We would love to say he's not, but he is. So if he's out of German or allied communication during the supply phase, he gets removed. Don't even do anything. So here's the check. We're going to roll a die, and if it's less than or equal to the hold value, he gets a reserve unit. If it's greater than, we don't place a reserve unit, and then boom, he's gone. So this particular roadblock is a 3. So as long as we don't roll 3 or less, I rolled a 6, the roadblock just disappears. It was just a roadblock and we cleared it. Okay, so now because of this wonky bridge rule, only one of our units can cross. But in doing so, we will claim control of the bridge. I don't know how super excited I am about moving just 1 unit across, but I will go ahead and do that. And we claim control of this bridge. And the next roadblock does not do a check, not unless you activate next to it. So if I were to ever activate the Piper right now, that would do it. Or if I ever activate the blue again in the future, that would do it. Okay, so now I get this tank. He only has 2 strength, so it's not like he's gonna just barrel forward and attack that tank. Not gonna happen. So then the question becomes, what do I do instead? We're gonna follow the road. That's the first thing we're gonna do. 1. And then I think I'm gonna go here because I'm gonna position myself to surround this tank. Or I could spend, see, he spent 1 point to go here. It costs 2 to go into broken, so that's 3. And then this is 4, and then that's 5. So as you can see, I'm gonna surround the sucker. And this is something I learned a while ago that I need to be more aware of. Rather than just charging head on against everybody, try to be more sneaky and get behind them, because knocking them out of supply actually is a big deal. However, this spot here causes a roadblock check. Okay, so if that was ever a 1 or a 2, I have to stop immediately. But I don't have to stop, so I'm gonna go here. Now I could have, if you were wondering, I could have kept going and tried to go for this 2 VP spot. I'd have to do another roadblock check again. But I think it's more important to get him surrounded right now. Well, actually it's not. Because with this unit here, they're gonna end up, oh yeah. I may not have done a smart thing. But that's my whole turn. That was, yep, that's the end of the impulse. So it's now their turn. Okay, so it's the 12th Corps. They want to deploy the 4th and 10th Armored Reserves. So let's see if they can do that, and they can. There's 2 from the 4th. And so we're only going to grab 1. And he wants to deploy. They only can deploy underneath the squiggly. And remember, it has to be an empty hex that Germans can move to, which there are none. So it's a real quick check. Nothing's going to happen. This happened in our last playthrough as well. If you're familiar or remember, it was one of the first things they did. And as of right now, there's no German unit that can move anywhere in here. A German could possibly move to one of these, but remember, we have to stay below the squiggly line. Right now, they got a perfect line of defense. So that doesn't mean they do nothing. It just means we keep going. So the next thing you're going to do is try to activate. Okay, they can't activate because they're a shattered core. That's the shattered core rule. If there's 0 or 1 of them, they don't activate. So then we move on to the event engineers. Now, engineers is going to put a unit where that roadblock is. So we're going to get a unit up here, right here. However, yep, it is, and it's going to be the closest allied unit, and 1, 2, 3 away is this, so this tank is going right there. That's exactly how that's going to play out. And that's their turn. So now it's back to us. And we just drew all the cards that are left. And I got a situation with the parents away on a week's vacation. I have not 1, but 2 purples. So remember, when you activate them during an impulse, you have to do another full impulse before you can activate them again. So I'm going to try to... I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I'm only down to 4 cards. I mean, look here. I have to spend 5 command points to get a full impulse. So I can do those 2 middle cards and get 5 points there. Well, actually, what I can do is I can play one of these and then pass. Can I pass on an impulse? I know I can pass for the day. I don't know if I can pass on an impulse. That's a good question. I've never, I've always played maximum cards. I think this would be command value 2.3 or 5.1. Okay, you can declare a German impulse over even if you've not met the full points. So I'm allowed to end an impulse early. So that's good. It's a very good thing. By the way, the section I found that, in case you're wondering or curious, it's on page 13, section 1. It's called German Impulse. It's near the end. In fact, it might even be on our day-by-day player aid. It's not. It's close, but it's not. Okay, so I'm going to activate the purple units, and then I'm going to end the impulse, and then activate this other purple unit to keep going, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to activate these guys. They do have the Bridge Engineers event, which is nice, but I would rather activate them. So we're going to do that. And so let's see what we can do here. It is a death trap to move forward here, because then you're fighting over a river, which is crazy. So you want to, with these units, move 1 to there, or we can move 2 to here, which is an interesting idea. But I think I would rather... Because remember, we can only move 1 unit at a time. So I'm going to... Oh, this is actually a tough decision. I think I will move them there. And we're going to put him out of, we're surrounding him. And this one can just easily go bloop right across the river. And then this one also can move across the river, but this guy has to stay behind. And then with this stack here, we got all kinds of issues, but it costs 3 movement points to go here, and then we can spend 2 more to at least get to there. So we're prepped to go across the river or something. And then this guy can just, remember, we're bottlenecked. We can't get across the river unless you start your turn at the edge of the river, and then you have to spend all your movement points to get across. So I know it doesn't seem like much, but getting these guys across the river is a big deal. So that's why I'm setting everything up to do that. And now it's going to be the Allies' turn. All right, so it's the 18th Airborne. They're going to deploy their corps, which they have one. So let's go ahead and do that. It is this guy. All right, and so we got to look to see, they are this squiggly line north. Okay, so this squiggly line right here, all the way up to the top of the map. Okay, so they're going to go somewhere where a German's proximate in their core area, and highest hold value, and preferably within 3 spaces of their core. Well, their core is basically shattered. They got only this guy here, that's it. And so if you were to look at where they would go, I mean, this would be a possibility, this one right here, because it's within 3 spaces of another unit from his core. Is he at risk of being surrounded? My answer is no, because these units can't easily get behind him, so actually that is where he will go. Let me do a quick check here. Is it empty? Yes. Is it in his core area? Yes. Is he able to trace Allied supply? Yes. Is it German unit proximate? Yes. Is it in danger of surround? No. Is it a German-held city? No. Is it adjacent to an Allied unit? Well, no, but that's what it wants. Is it not adjacent to an Allied unit? Yes. Then it says place it. Now, if there was more than one position available, it has to be within 3 hexes of the same core. That's the reason why I chose that one. There could be other positions available, but this one would win the tiebreaker because it's within 3 hexes of the core. So that's why I didn't bother looking anywhere else. If I found one within 3 of the core, that's going to be the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. This one is not available because there's no fuel trace and he's super in risk of being surrounded. So he can't go there for sure. These two are out because, well, actually this one's a candidate too. So what do we do now when there's 2 candidates? So let's look at the tiebreaker. Highest hold value. Well, then westernmost hex. So it's actually going to go there. This one is next to another unit, so it's not going to work. So yes, he backs up 1. He's actually going to go there. All right, so that's their turn. So now it's our turn. We can't activate the purple core, but I can activate the red units up above or the blue units, only the 116th Panzer Division or the 560th VG. So 116th Panzer would be these guys, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Or I'm activating the red units up top, which isn't really all that exciting. Or I could just activate any one unit. That's also possible. I was thinking of maybe activating the Pipers. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just not sure what to do. I mean, clearly I want to destroy this tank, but he's some serious strength. At 4 strength, it's going to be really hard to get some hits on him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to activate the 116th Panzer. And I will just take 1 unit and move it across the bridge. Now, I can also take another unit and move it to here for 3 points, and then across this bridge, because both bridges are available to me. So I can move everybody over the bridges. I just had to go across separate bridges. And since the bridge isn't destroyed, I can do movement points to get to the bridge and then still cross it. So it's not like trying to cross a river. So yeah, I think that's a cool idea. And then we're bunched up and ready to try to take on that tank. We don't have them surrounded though, which is more ideal, but it's good. And I'm going to pass. So now it's their turn, and they're gonna activate the 5th Corps. Actually, no, it's Special Allies Alert. Ooh, what the hell is that? Let's find out. I want to think that this is not going to be cool for us. This day only, treat all combat chits drawn that list a date as no result. Okay, so that's not the end of the world. Right here, here's an example. See that little red 16 there? That means I would do a hit if it's December 16th or if I'm doing a large attack. So what it's saying now is that little December 16th value on here is ignored now. So I'm okay with that. I can handle that. So that's their turn. They don't even activate. That's even cooler. Okay, so now it's our turn, and we're going to activate the purple, and I'm going to throw in a fixed artillery for whatever combat I end up doing. I just haven't figured out what that's going to be. So we're going to... This is our final one. Okay, so activating the purple. This tank is going to move up and over, because we're going to start taking on this guy. And I am going to attack him, because he's dispersed and I want to finish him. And this infantry is going to move forward to help. Okay, these guys are already here to help against him. And then the rest of these, I have that restriction of moving across the river. However, I can move across 2 different river hexes here. So do you see that little trick I just did? And then I'm going to do the same trick here with this one moving across like that. And then this guy will just move 1 space down to here and poise himself to go across the bridge in the future. So yes, they're divided up a little bit, but I effectively got them across the bridge, which I think is going to help. Okay, so now we're going to do fixed artillery. And the artillery is going to be on this battle against him. But I wanted to do this battle first. He is going to be a minimum of 1 chit draw, and we're going to draw 1, and then 2 for being elite, and then 3. That's it. It's not going to be all that great. He has 2 strength. We have 6, so it's 3 to 1. So it's 1 to 3. All right, here's the first one. Is he in a city or town? No. He is in a forest, though, so he's going to cancel a hit. We're going to draw 2 more, see if we can get him. Are we greater than 1 to 1? Yes. And the other side is less than. Attacker only has combined arms. Yes. So we got 1 hit on him, and he did 1 hit on us. So that part hurts. But with him being dispersed, he is going to retreat 1 space to here, which I'm cool with, because the forest is actually really hard to take out. And we will move in, and I think I'm going to have to... You know what? I'm just going to eliminate this unit. The problem with eliminating units is you never get them back. I'm not sure I want to do that. I'll go ahead and damage this guy. That's a hurt. That's a hurt. So lose an elite unit like that, but that's the game I played. So, wait, folks, wait. If all defending units in a stack are dispersed, attacker suffers 1 less hit. Yeah. So we don't take any hits at all. And so we can just move right on in. And so in doing so, we effectively took this bridge. Okay, so pushing him back is good. I think just the mere fact that he was holding... If you looked at my first playthrough, the one that I didn't follow rules well, it took me the entire, we were on December 24th, I think, and this unit was still alive, this guy right here. And I just pushed him back. So I'm very happy about that, even though he's not dead. So now we're going to do this one. 2 chit minimum. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more for elite is 5. And then 1 more for the combat tactic is 6. So 6 for us, 2 for him. And the combat tactic, by the way, was fixed artillery, which is in range. I had to make sure of that. The range is 3, and we are in range 3. So we're going to draw 2. All right. Greater than 2 to 1. He's got 4 strength. We have 4, 8, 11 strength. So yes, we are 2 to 1. So we did hit him. Now I'm taking 1 away because I counted the blue unit that's on the other side of him, and that blue unit's not involved in the attack. So we only have a 5 maximum. So 1 hit on us and 1 hit on him. And then, are we 3 to 1? I think we said we were at 4, 8, 11. So we're just shy of 3 to 1. We're not less than 2 to 1. So I'm going to keep drawing. We're going to draw 3 more. All right, so let's see what we can get with the 3 to more. All right, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So are we greater than 1.5 to 1? We are. Okay. Is he undispersed or unsupplied? Well, technically, he's cut off from supply now, but he doesn't have a low supply marker on him. And is there a defender adjacent? No. That would have been a great one for the last battle. And then attacker artillery, the answer is yes. So we got 3 hits on him, but he did 2 hits on us. Well, I guess it's an armor battle, so... All right, so the 2 hits on us before I forget. Here's 1, and there's 2. This is a lot of hits to be taking, but you know what? I could avoid the second hit by disrupting my own units, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to do 3 hits to him, and I want to do 3 hits to him with all my units intact because we're going to make this guy suffer. So 3 hits to his 2 means he's going to retreat. He wants to retreat this way, and since we have zone of control on everything, he is going to retreat his priority hex. There is a chart here. He wants to go into a hex that has no enemy zone of control first. Then into an unoccupied hex, into a hex occupied by a friendly unit, which is not an option. Sorry, I had to scratch my nose. Into an unoccupied hex in an enemy zone of control in friendly supply. That's the next one, which that is. But he would also remove a step. So within those priorities, he's going to retreat into any terrain, however, retreat across unbridged river or forest hex. And then the direction. If a choice of more than 1 hex, enter a town or city first. If none, enter the hex in the withdrawal direction. If not possible, enter the hex closest to the withdrawal direction, then westernmost. Okay, so here he has many options, right? He can go to anything, but they're all going to do damage to him. So he's going to go, there's no town or whatever for him to go into, so he's going to go the withdrawal direction first. And he takes a hit because he's in our zone of control. So that's one of the hits. So now we have 2 hits left to resolve. Those 2 hits are greater than his total step point, so he's going to withdraw again and go here and become disrupted. However, there's 1 more hit to resolve, and that will destroy him. And folks, eliminating a tank is a big deal. So getting rid of 2 units here gives us another victory point. And yes, I will do the victory tour and go in to the hex. And I can advance 1 more if I want to. And I probably should. I just don't know where. I think it would benefit him to go 1 more like so. I'm spreading them out too much. That's my issue right now, but I'm okay with it for now. I do have to regroup them at some point. Okay. So great push through. That ends our impulse, and we're going to do their action. It's a no command, so that means they're going to do an engineer command, and there's no roadblocks on the map, so now they're going to try to place one. And I always forget their priorities here. I think it's a 3 or higher. Okay, unoccupied road position within 2 hexes of a German, 3 or higher, in communication of both sides. If more than one, pick the highest HV hex. Well, I think we know where this is going. There's a lot of places within 2 of a German unit, but the only one that's within 2 that has a high value is this guy. He's got 5 points on him, and that's where it's going. There's no other place that has that much of a hold value. So there's a roadblock place there. That's what I was concerned about, but that's okay. All right, so we're at the end of the day, which is where we left off last time. Hopefully this time with less errors. And first thing you do is you put the combat chits back. Second thing you do is all the disrupted markers go away, which I think is just 1. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to end here. And that's it for me for today. I was hoping to get a lot more gaming in today, and I apologize. It was just a crazy day. Back to the work week again. And we will start December 17th. So I think we're off to a half-decent start. The yellow core up north did not move as much as I wanted it to, but everybody else met or exceeded my expectations. Except for these punks down here. Okay, so thanks for watching. Stay awesome. I will do December 17th, all the prep that you have to do at the start of 17th on the next video. So thank you.